You know the feeling. It is 1 a.m. The room is quiet. Your phone screen is the only light, and there is a pressure in your chest that has been building for months, maybe years. You replay conversations in your head, every word, every look, every moment where someone made you feel small. They spoke over you, they dismissed you, they twisted your words, and somehow, at the end of it, you were the one apologizing. You kept the peace, you stayed calm, you tried to be the reasonable one, and deep down you asked yourself one question: why do they always win? Let me tell you something that most people will never say out loud. You are not weak. You were simply never taught the game. And tonight that changes. Because in the next few minutes, you are going to learn 7 moves so precise, so psychologically devastating, that the narcissist in your life will lose power over you permanently. Not temporarily, not emotionally, permanently. But you must stay until the end, because move number 7 is the one they fear most. Here is the part nobody tells you. A narcissist is not strong. They are fragile, dangerously fragile. Their entire personality is a house made of glass. It looks solid from the outside. It shines in the light. But the entire structure stands on one fragile pillar. Your reaction, your anger feeds it. Your sadness feeds it. Even your love feeds it. You are the electricity. They are just the appliance. Pull the plug. Now here is the part that separates people who understand power from people who only wish they did. Most people think they must defeat the narcissist. Wrong. You do not defeat them. You remove the oxygen they breathe. And when the oxygen disappears, the fire burns itself out. 7 moves, 7 precise shifts in behavior. The first one begins right now. Move 1. Go gray rock. You become the most boring person in the room. On purpose. Short answers, flat tone, no emotional charge. A narcissist asks how you are. You say one word. Fine. Not excited, not angry, not wounded. Fine. They push for more. You give less. Why? Because narcissists feed on drama the way fire feeds on oxygen. They want sparks. They want reactions. They want emotion. You give them nothing. Imagine throwing a punch at a wall of fog. Your fist swings, but there is nothing to hit. That is gray rock. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said something simple and brutal. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Understand what that means here. You stop grieving their attention, and suddenly they begin chasing yours. Because the moment attention disappears, the narcissist feels something terrifying. Irrelevance. Most people stop listening here. The ones who keep listening are the ones who change their lives, because gray rock is only the first layer. Here is something important. You are not emotionless. You feel everything: anger, frustration, hurt. But you feel it behind closed doors, not in front of someone who uses your emotions as weapons. Your feelings are real, but your reactions become strategic. I want you to answer something honestly. Have you ever tried going gray rock with someone who manipulates you? Did it work? Write yes or no in the comments. Because when people try this the first time, something strange happens. The narcissist becomes restless. They poke, they provoke, they escalate, because the power dynamic is changing. And that leads to move 2. Move 2. Mirror their behavior, not out of pettiness, out of precision. A narcissist cancels plans at the last minute. Next time you are unavailable, they ignore your messages for hours. You become busy. They give you the silent treatment. You go live your life loudly without them. This is not revenge. This is calibration. You are teaching the nervous system of the relationship something new. Every action has a consequence. Now, here is the part most people miss. A narcissist believes they control the game board, but once you mirror behavior calmly, something shifts. You are no longer reacting, you are responding, and the board suddenly has two players. History gives us a perfect example. Cardinal Richelieu, you did not scream at his enemies. He did not throw emotional fits. He watched them, studied them, then he mirrored their moves until they destroyed themselves. Precision beats emotion. Every time, this idea appears again centuries later in the work of Robert Greene. Power does not shout. Power observes, then power moves quietly. But what comes next hurts the narcissist far more than mirroring behavior. Because their real fuel is something else. Move 3. Withdraw your validation completely. This is where the power shift becomes real. A narcissist runs on one fuel source, narcissistic supply. That means praise, attention, admiration. Even your anger works. Yes, your anger feeds them. Your arguments feed them. Even your tears feed them. Any reaction fills their tank. So what do? You empty the tank. You stop complimenting them. You stop defending yourself when they attack. You stop explaining your emotions to someone who twists them. You become something very rare, a throne of silence. Still, calm, unmoved. Now here is the strange part. When the supply disappears, the narcissist does not become stronger. They become desperate. They try love bombing. They try guilt. They try anger. Why? Because the glass house is cracking. And they know it. I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment. Right now, are you the silent power? Or are you still the pawn reacting to every move? Write it in the comments. Silent power or pawn. There is no judgment here. Only awareness, because awareness is where power begins. But the next move is where the psychological game truly changes. Most narcissists rely on one thing above all else: confusion. Move 4. Expose the pattern. Out loud. Calmly. No yelling. No drama. Just clarity. Imagine this moment. You express a need. Suddenly, the conversation becomes about them. Their problems, their feelings, their sacrifices. You stop the conversation, and you say one sentence. I notice every time I express a need, the conversation becomes about you. That sentence is a scalpel. It cuts through manipulation instantly, because narcissists expect chaos. They expect emotional storms. They expect tears. What they cannot handle is a calm mirror, a clear reflection of their behavior. The political thinker Machiavelli wrote something brutal and accurate. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Think about that. Narcissists surround themselves with confused people, people who doubt themselves, people who keep asking, "Am I overreacting?" Because confused people are easy to control. The moment you see clearly, you are no longer useful as a pawn. And the narcissist knows it. Now here is the part where your life truly begins to shift, because removing their power is only half the story. The other half is building your own. Move 5. Build a world so full they become irrelevant. A narcissist maintains control through isolation. Slowly, quietly, they criticize your friends, they mock your goals, they plant small seeds of doubt. You really think you can do that? You are being unrealistic. You are too sensitive. At first, it seems harmless. But over time, something dangerous happens. Your world shrinks, and their influence grows. So you reverse the process. You call the friend you stopped talking to. You pursue the goal they laughed at. You learn skills that give you independence. Financial independence, emotional independence, social independence. Every new connection becomes a wall they cannot climb. Every new skill becomes armor they cannot break. Every step forward reduces their importance. Think of power like a language. Most people never learn it. They speak apology. They speak approval. They speak fear. But when you build your own world, you begin learning a new language. The language of independence. And once you speak that language fluently, manipulators lose the ability to control you. Let me ask you something important. What is one goal someone tried to make you abandon? One dream they laughed at? One path they said you could not take? Write it in the comments, because naming it is the first step toward reclaiming it. Now, here is a move that almost nobody uses, and yet it is one of the most powerful. Move 6. Stop explaining yourself. This sounds simple, but it is brutally difficult, because good people want to be understood. You want fairness. You want clarity. You want the other person to see your intentions. But when you explain yourself to a narcissist, something dangerous happens. You hand them ammunition. Every explanation becomes a weapon. You said you needed space, but then you did this. You told me you were tired, but you went out with friends. They twist your words. They analyze your logic. They trap you in endless debates. And suddenly, you are defending your right to live your own life. So you stop. No long explanations, no emotional essays, no defensive speeches. You simply act. You make decisions. You move forward. Silence and action together create something very threatening. A person who cannot be controlled. Because arguments require two participants, and you are no longer participating. Most people will never reach this level. They stay trapped in explanation, but the ones who understand power move differently, and that brings us to the final move. The one narcissists fear more than anything else. Move 7. Detach from the outcome, not pretend detachment. Real detachment, bone deep. You stop needing them to admit they were wrong. You stop waiting for the apology. You stop hoping they will change, because here is the cold truth. They will not change, not for you. Not for logic, not for fairness. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote something powerful. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Understand what that means. You cannot control their behavior, but you control your response. And when you truly detach, something profound happens. The rope drops. For years you were in a tug of war, pulling, struggling, exhausted. But the moment you release the rope, the game ends. They are pulling against nothing, and nothing destroys a narcissist faster than irrelevance. Now understand this clearly. This is not about hate. This is not about revenge. This is about reclaiming your energy. Think about how much time you spent managing their moods. How much energy went into decoding their manipulation. How many nights you stayed awake trying to understand why they treated you that way. All of that energy belongs to you. Take it back, every ounce. Now I want to know something. Are you the person who finally chooses power over pity? Write it in the comments, because that decision changes everything. If this video woke something up inside you, press the like button right now. That small action helps this message reach people who are still trapped inside manipulation and doubt. Subscribe to this channel, because next week we go even deeper. 5 phrases that make a narcissist immediately back down. Words are weapons, and you are about to learn how to use them. But before you leave, there is one final step. Not a comment, an oath. Type this sentence in the comments and mean it. I choose power over pity, because the moment you stop feeding manipulation is the moment manipulators begin to starve. And the moment you stop seeking approval is the moment your real power begins.